through that foundation. And this year, 2008 ended up being a year where there was just a lot of extra work, a lot of things going on, mainly around Kapawi Lodge. And that was one of the big focuses. And you guys will, the lodge that you're going to visit is a key kind of economic project for the future of the Achuar people. And this year it was turned over to the Achuar, where they took over the responsibility for, total responsibility for the management and the running of it. And that happened January 1. They knew they weren't really set up to, with all the skills necessary to do the marketing, to do all the planning. So they asked a group of people to assist them, and they asked our foundation to play a special role with them in getting the lodge up and running and getting them trained over the next 2 years, 2008 and 2009 or so. By the end of 2009 is the goal, to have the Achuar in a position to be able to fill the major management decision-making positions. So, and I'm on the board that they've established. They've asked 2 outside people to be on the board, so I'm on the board. So being on the board, it was a little being responsible as a board member, like I should be here rather than in San Francisco. So that was one of the reasons that Lynn and I came down here this year, was because of all the activity that's going on with the transfer of Kapawi. And then the other thing is, with the transfer of Kapawi, for Kapawi to become successful financially, the biggest cost item in the running of the lodge is the transportation of people out to Kapawi. Because the only way to, it's both a blight and a blessing. The only way you can get to Kapawi is by air, which is also a great thing because it's the only lodge that you can go to where you get to fly over the rainforest and see the rainforest from the air. So but it's real expensive to do that compared to just go by bus, to fly to in all the lodges in the north of the Amazon here in Ecuador that Kapawi competes with. You fly from Quito to a town called Coca, you get in a bus, you go down to a river, you get in a canoe, large kind of motorized canoe, and you go down this river. That's a pretty busy river because there's a lot of traffic in it, but it's cheap to get there. Kapawi is not like that. You're going to do a long overland route today, which is also, it's a long bus ride, but it's a beautiful bus ride. So you get to see a part of the country that you would never see if you just were flying somewhere. So getting people from where you're going to go, where you get to over the Andes and down to the kind of frontier towns of the Amazon, from that point out into the Achuar territory, there's no access other than by plane. So right now, to get people out there, we have to, the lodge has to charter planes, and it's really expensive. So what we're doing this year is also trying to expand the Achuar's aviation service so they have their own plane. That's another big project that I guess you guys will meet Danielle. You'll be there at the same time. So the man who is renowned for being Linda's fiance, who is also the guy. Who's also the guy that was the entrepreneur, created Kapawi, has been also working with the Achuar to help get their aviation service set up. So that's another project that our foundation has been involved with, and is getting the aviation service of the Achuar set up to be able to handle international passengers at the same time the Achuar are taking over the lodge. So there's these two fairly substantial business enterprises that the Achuar have that this year and next year are going to be really critical for getting them running effectively, safely, and efficiently. So that's, both of those things were reasons why it made sense for us to be down here full-time rather than me just traveling down. And then we also came down because this year was a real big year for the country in the Constitutional Assembly process that was going on. And as the drafting of the Constitution is completed now, and now in the end of September, there will be a national referendum to vote to approve it or reject it. But we were real actively involved in some aspects of the Constitution having to do with natural resource protection, indigenous rights, and that was kind of another reason to be down here. So it's been, and plus somebody in San Francisco offered to rent our house. That was the main reason.
Well, and you wanted to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
You and your
That hadn't worked very